All right, good morning, everybody. We have about 8 people online this morning, so a lot of people online. So let's see. Good morning to Blanca. Good morning to you, Caesar. Good morning. Panawak, good morning. Angie, good morning. And Eric, good morning to you. So we got some people online today, a number of people, and that's good. So let's go to the website. Let's take care of some what I call administrative chores. So what I'm going to do now here is this. You guys are Math 241, and actually I don't even have it there. I'm going to go back home here. And here's what I'm going to do. Remember when I sent you guys the welcome letter? Where is this thing? Yeah, let me go back. So remember I sent you guys this welcome letter. I mentioned that you're going to turn your homework in Canvas. Is that true? It's in the assignment portion of Canvas. And I even have a video about how to download the app. So you had to get the Cam Scanner Plus app. Hopefully it's $1. And so you want to upload your homework before your test, which is on Monday. So you want to upload this. And also, let me go back over here. So there's a video about how to do that. Okay, so here was that video link. So if you don't have that, what's this? Canvas and Cam Scanner Plus, because you need to use that information to what? To download. So I'll put it in the chat there. I also put here, I'm going to search here, Cam Scanner Plus. I'm going to put my name. Oops. Because I do have another video for you guys. If you guys remember, what's that other video? This is going to be how to use the Cam Scanner Plus. Okay, so now some people may need to know or learn how to what? Upload their homework. Okay, so I'm going to play that for you guys because I mentioned that. I said, I'll play that for you guys when we get closer to that time where you upload your homework, right? So, nevertheless, here's that time. Okay. And let me see if I can get the audio on this thing. Okay.
Plus.
So let's kind of, if we can, take a listen. Hold on for a second. Should we turn off all the lights? What do you guys think? You guys can see it? You want all the lights off? No. Okay, well, I'll play it here. And I'll play it for everybody. And here we go.
Video about how to use your Cam Scanner Plus software to upload your homework and your tests to Canvas.
Well, it is, but
so first we're going to locate Cam Scanner Plus. I found it. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take photos with my smartphone here. So below here, I got the camera. I hit plus. Now make sure it's in batch. And you can see the batch in blue highlighted here, single, ID card, OCR, ID photo. We don't want any of those. Question book, I need a batch because a batch means I'm going to upload more than one. So I'm going to center my camera and I'm going to focus. Make sure it's focused. You don't want to submit blurry work. We can't read that. And then hit the picture. Okay. Now go to the next page. Make sure it's focused. It's not blurry. hit the picture. Go to the next page. Make sure it's focused, not blurry. Take your picture. This is in batch mode. Make sure it's focused, not blurry. Hit the picture. Now, you're probably going to have more than 4 pages. I'm just going to stop here with 4 pages. And I'm going to hit finish to the right there. So there's my 4 pages now. So what I can do now here is I can take a look. And you say, wow, that doesn't look right. So I go to re-edit, and I can line up here with these rectangles. What I really want to fine-tune here, what I really want to record and upload. And after I use those dots here to put a rectangle around my page, I hit next. And that's the re-edit. I want to save it to, I don't want Lighten, I don't want original, I want magic color, and then I hit save. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the next page, and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to hit re-edit and move these around so I can fine-tune my picture. Next step, magic color is white, save. Go to the next one. The next one, number 3, looks pretty good already, but let's double check here. Let's hit re-edit. And sure enough, we do have to fix this, align this. Next, we like magic color, so we're going to save that. Let's go to the last page. I'm going to hit re-edit. I'm going to make sure it's appropriate here. So I'm going to put that a little further here. I'm going to move this there. That looks a little better. Next step. And there we are. Save this. So I do have all 4 pages. Now I'm going to go to share here because we have a batch of PDF files here. It's one PDF file of 4 pages. So if I wanted, I'm going to hit share here. I'm going to try to upload this. I'm going to share it as a PDF. So I hit the PDF. So this is a PDF. This is the only file that your Canvas will accept for homework and your test. Now, go to the above portion here called Share. Click Share. And sure enough, your apps pop up. And you're going to click on the Canvas Student app here. So I'm going to say, here we go. Here's Canvas Student. And now the Canvas information is going to come up. You got to pick your course, of course. And you're going to put the proper location, like in the assignment portion for homework 1 or even test 1. So at this point, this is going to be a bit different, okay, because I'm not enrolled in my own course. But this is essentially how you guys are going to use the Cam Scanner Plus software to turn in your homework and to turn in your test. Now, you're going to turn them into Canvas. And if you have the apps on your phone, it's all in one place and it's good to go. So let's hit cancel. And maybe we want to take a look here. We're going to hit cancel because you're pretty much done with the demonstration. Maybe I want to look at a couple of things. Just do a PDF preview. And you got that PDF preview. Anyway, okay. That's the demonstration. And we'll have you guys test this out this weekend. Thank you for watching.
Okay, so here's the thing. You say, what if I need to watch this again? Well, I'm going to send it to you as an announcement, right? And you can watch it again on your own time, as number of times as you would like. And I would say, what do we title this? Use Cam Scanner Plus to turn in homework. So I'm going to say how to, is that right? How to use it. And if I remember, how do we do that here? There should be, is this it? Uploads. course media. Maybe over here. There we go. It's like a plug. YouTube. And there it is. So I'll send that to you guys. So you guys can see that. So there, you can watch it on your own time this weekend. I don't know how many times. Of course, can you use your own favorite scanning software on your phone? Yes. Could you use your own scanner at home? Yes. You're free to do that. Now, do I have a demonstration of your scanner at home? No. Do I have a demonstration of your favorite smartphone scanning software? No, it's only this one. Okay, so you guys are responsible for uploading. Where do you upload it again? Assignment portion, homework 1. You upload it here. Okay, you guys okay with that? And then when you're done with that, that's when you upload. I'm also going to share with you guys here. I put if you go back down to the modules section in Canvas, right? Something called study guides and test solutions. What do you think is there? What does it say? Test 1 what? Study guide. So if you click on that, what do you think you see? An error while processing or retrieving the file. Why would there be an error? Let's refresh. Now, I refreshed here, and what you guys should see is a nice study guide for your test 1, okay? All right, so that's all there in Canvas, and so if that doesn't motivate you to download the Canvas app to use for the course, I don't know what will. Okay? So anyway, there you guys go. I wanted to keep you guys up to date with what's going on, and I think now we're kind of up to date. Is that right? You guys know what I'm saying? All right. Now, if you look at that study guide, you're going to see something here. I'm going to give you a definition of today. All right. So let's see. Let's get this out of the way. Let's go back to here. There we go. And so we have Antonio, good morning. And we have Alice, good morning. So we got about 12 people online. Yes. No, there's one provided for your test. So when I give you guys a test, you guys have your test in class here on Monday. And, you'll show up and I'll hand it out to you. And you do it, you turn it in. I think so. Let's check the schedule. Is there a test? We check the schedule. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna look for that. Okay. Where are we at? Here, 241. And I think if we go to syllabus, right? There is a schedule. And if we scroll in, if we can see that. Yeah, test 1 would be on September 19th on a Monday. Yes. Of course. There was a question here. Oh, who Angie has a question? What does Angie say? Yes, Angie, you can turn it in during the weekend. It does not have to be on Monday. It's open for you to turn in. So yes, Angie, you can do that. Now, remember, Angie, what I'm going to remind people of is you turn it in as what's called a batched PDF, meaning it's like one file. It's not like 20 files. It's not like 20 PDF files. No, one PDF file. You guys know what I mean? You want to be efficient. So it's called batching it. And you upload one, and you don't upload like 20. So yes, and yes, you can do it. Yes, ASAP. Yes, we have a question here. You know what? A study guide is just to communicate to you. It's not for credit. Yeah, remember when you do this, your test, it's supposed to be using your what? Your brain. So you want to deduce those things. I would even recommend learning your two special triangles. Is that right? And, and then after your first test, yes, you'll use other tools. But, this first test is to see, can you answer these questions, But yes, so take a look at the study guide, and that should serve as, what's the, you guys probably don't know what this term means. It serves as fair warning is the term, fair warning. So you look at the study guide and you go, I guess you were serious about everything you were talking about, Mr. Judge. So the reason I give you a study guide is so you guys could just to communicate to students what to expect. So they go, oh my God, you were serious about these things. I thought you were kidding me, In high school, do those high school teachers kid you all the time about tests? I'm just curious. Yeah, I don't remember either because it's been such a long time for me. And did high school, those high school teachers say, you better learn this for your test? And then all of a sudden you take your test and it's not there or something? Did they do that? Oh, they did that kind of stuff? Yeah, they were like kidders. Mr. Judge doesn't kid. Yes. It's a very good question. If you look at the study guide actually has more questions than what's on your test. I typically give people more questions, so it gives you more practice, maybe. And then your test is shorter. Yeah, I typically do that. Like in the calculus class, I'm going to give a study guide for the calculus students. It has like 50 questions. They're going to faint, but their test isn't going to be 50 questions. Is it half? I think it all depends on the class, but no, there's no real pattern to it. I don't have a real pattern and say I'll do half or anything like that. There's no real pattern because you know why? Every class, I don't know how to put this. Like this particular class meets daily, but the class can be offered where it meets once a week or twice a week or daily. So you have different times all the time, so that's why I change things based on the time we have. You can't give, so ideally, yeah, that's really what's going on. It's based on the time we have, unfortunately. Anyway, anybody have any other questions? Those are very good questions. Angie has a nice thumbs up. Great, Angie. Thank you. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember that idea of even and odd functions that we were talking about? Sine is even, what is sine? Is sine even or odd? Well, let me give you guys a few definitions here so you guys know. If we go back, it's even here. If we go back. Yeah, there we go. It's below here. See these things, even and odd, that we were talking about? And I think I erased it. But I'm going to give you the definition so that you guys know what it is, the definition. And I don't think it was on that sheet, but... So I'm going to say definition. We're going to say this. We say a function f is even. Okay, so you say this is the definition of a function being what? Even. If f of minus x equals f of x. Okay? And I want you guys to note something here. You see the word even? Do you guys know what an even number is, by the way? What are some even numbers if I asked you? What's even? All right, 2, what else? 4, 6, 8, 12. And that list goes on what? Forever. Right? That list goes forever. So those are even numbers. So I want to express to you guys, I want you guys to note that x squared, x to the 4th, x to the 6th, x to the 8th, all of these are what kind of functions? They're all even functions, by the way. Okay? They satisfy this definition. And I'm going to share with you guys, how do we know? Okay? Well, they satisfy the definition. So, for example, they can say, show that the function x squared is what? Even. They can say that. Show the function is, what's the word? Even. Well, this is how you do it. You have to use the definition. So I'm going to say, here's what you do. You use the what? Definition. So you use the definition. You go, what do you mean? What's the definition? The definition is right here. Okay, you guys see that there? F of minus x equals what? F of x. F of minus x equals f of x. You see this input here? Right? You see that minus x that goes inside? That has to equal the function. What is the function, ladies and gentlemen? Right? Your function, I'm going to paint green. It's right in here. So in the definition, I'm going to say this. Your orange has to equal the green. Orange equals what? Green. Okay, I'll say it again. Orange must equal what? Green. You go, well, okay. Well, I know what green is because they gave it to me. But then what is orange? See what orange is? Orange is f of minus x. Would you guys agree with that? Do you guys see it in terms of colors? But then you might say, I don't even know what you're talking about. What is this minus x? If you put inside the function a negative x instead of an x, you know what that means? Wherever there's a x, replace it with negative x. So this is going to be negative x to the what? To the second power. This, ladies and gentlemen, is that orange function you're trying to show equals the green. Okay, but there's some algebra to do. You say, what do you mean some algebra? Well, tell me, what is negative x squared? Do you guys know? That negative x times negative x, is that true? Isn't that a positive times a positive, which is going to be, a negative times a negative? What's that going to be? And does that give you a what? That gives you x squared. Is that true? So far, so good? But have you seen x squared anywhere? What's x squared? I'm going to say that equals f of x. How do I know that equals f of x? Because they just told you. F of x is right up here. It's x squared. See that? It's x squared. So what do you think I just showed here? This is my conclusion, right? That f of minus x equals what? F of x. I have shown that the orange equals green. And what does that mean then? That means f is what? Even. And there you go. That's how we know x squared is an even what? Function. Okay, you guys okay with that? That seem easy? What if I shared with you another example? Show f of x is, I'm going to use now x to the fourth is even. What do you think that looks like, right? How do we show that? We got to use the, what's this? The definition of a function being what? Even. Okay, even. So here's the deal now. This is given. That is what? That is green. We need to show that the orange, and you go, well, I don't even know what orange is. Well, replace x with a what? With a negative x. You guys okay with that? So you go, what do I mean? Wherever there's an x, replace it with a what? Negative x. And so you get negative x to the what? Fourth power. Okay, you guys okay with that? So then you go, well, this is the orange. Let's see what we get by algebra. What's negative x to the fourth power? You can do a couple of things. You can say, I can write this as negative 1 times x to the fourth. And again, by properties of exponents, I distribute the power. Okay, you guys remember that from algebra, beginning algebra? You know, like if you had a times b to the nth power is a to the nth times b to the nth. And then you need to know the value of negative 1 to the fourth power. What's that going to be? 1. And then what's 1 times anything? It's itself. So where have you seen x to the fourth power before? Right up here. What do we call that? That's known as f of what? X. Okay. So what did you just show again? Did you guys see what you just showed? What's the conclusion? Well, you show that f of minus x equals what? F of x. Isn't that the definition we said of being what? Even? F of minus x is f of x. The orange is the green. That's your definition. So now you can say here, orange is green. Now we can say what? F is even. That's using this definition of being even. Okay, so there is some algebra right in there that pops up. And then what's the other definition? Do you guys remember? We have even. What else do we have? Odd. Okay. And we say a function f is odd if f of minus x is minus f of x. Okay? F of minus x, I'm going to shade that orange. And if you can see what kind of happened, that's minus what? The f function. Right? Yes. X to the power 4. Well, when they gave you this here, this is saying f of x is x to the minus 4. So wherever you see an x to the fourth power, or x to the fourth power, so f of x is x to the fourth power. Wherever you see an x to the fourth power, you can call that what? F. That's what that means. And so now we have another definition. Do you guys know, what are some odd numbers if I asked you? What are the odd numbers? 3, 5, 7, that goes on forever, right? So did you guys know these are odd numbers? So I can tell you that x to the first power, x to the third power, x to the fifth power, and so on, these are all what? These are all odd functions. You're going to see that they're odd. This is what we call them. I'm going to say, for example, show that this function called f to the third power, show that this is what? Odd. You say, how do we show this is odd? You have to use the what? The definition. What's your definition? Right here. Okay, so you have to use the definition. Now, here's the thing. See, they told me, how do you define my function? That's x to the third power. That's green. You guys okay with that? That's the green portion. So what you say is, Okay, f of minus x now, this is where you always start. What does that equal? If you plug in a minus x instead of an x into your function, right? What does this give you now? You got a parentheses to the third power. What do you put inside? It's negative x. Yes. And now here you got to use some what? Algebra. What do you mean I got to use algebra? Well, you can say negative x times negative x times negative x. You guys okay with that? And then what is a negative times a negative times a negative? And then what's the x times the x times the x? X to the third power. Or you can use that algebra fact. Right? You go, what do you mean? Remember this algebra fact I just shared with you guys earlier? Okay? You say, what are you talking about? Well, I can just put it right here. Negative x to the third power can be written as what? Negative 1 times that x to the third power. See that negative sign that we have inside here? We're writing it as negative 1 times this. So by properties of exponents again, we can say that's negative 1 to the third power times x to the third power. Now, what's negative 1 to the third power? Negative 1. What's negative 1 times anything? Right? You guys see what I'm saying here? We're practically done. Why are we done? Whenever you see an x to the third power here and here, right? What is that called? It's in green. What is x to the third power called? That's what? That's your f. Yes. That's f. So at this point, you can say, hey, Mr. Judge, is this going to be minus, because the function f, which is green, they gave it to us that way. So you have minus what? Minus f. What did you guys just show again? That f of minus x is minus what? F of x. That's what you just showed. And what does that mean? F is what? Odd. So you've demonstrated by definition why x to the third is an odd function, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we're going to care about these ideas about even and odd. You can say, is that negative 1 here? Negative 1 times f. It is, which is negative f. Same conclusion. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to care about the physical attributes of this in our future. This is why they have us do it now. Okay? This is why we do it now. So, let's do another one here. X to the fifth power. I'm going to say, show that your function f to the fifth power is what? Odd. Well, how do we do that again, right? What is f? Got the wrong color. This is my f, okay? It's x to the fifth power. How do you start this again always? F of minus x. And what color is that? That's orange. F of minus x is what? Replace for this x with a negative x. Properties of exponents again. What could we say? Negative 1 to the fifth. X to the fifth. What's negative 1 to the fifth? It's negative 1. And then what do we call x to the fifth? That was called what? F. So this is negative 1 times f. Or we can say this is negative what? F. What did we just show? Anybody want to tell me? That the function is what? Odd. Okay, we just showed that this function is an odd function. Now, let's remember a few things, though. Let's note, if I look at my sine function, what did we say sine was? Was sine even or odd? Sine was odd, right? And you say, well, what does that mean? Well, it means whenever you see sine of negative x, was sine even or is it sine odd? It's odd. That means minus sine of what? X. This is what you care about. Because sine was odd. We've been using this idea. And I said, well, what if my function here was cosine? Well, what do we say cosine was? Even. So you might say, well, what is this? Cosine of minus x is what? Cosine of x. That's what that means, because cosine's even. Tangent, though, what do we remember about tangent? Odd. Good. So tangent is what? Odd. So we have f of, well, then that means tangent minus x is minus what? Tangent x. So you know. Okay, so now what they're going to do here is this. They're going to ask you this question here. They're going to say, determine if the function is even, odd, or neither. You go, neither, yeah, just doesn't satisfy the definition or even and odd, okay? So, for example, they can say x cubed times sine x. Okay, you guys with me on that? We have to find if this thing is even or odd. What color was this? This is green. This is your function f. Is that right? So how do you guys always start the process? How do you always start the process? Write down f of what? Negative x. Good. You replace a negative x wherever there's an x. That's how you always start this. And then you have to see what you have. This is negative x to the third. This is sine of negative x. You guys okay with that? So far, so good. Did you guys notice you did what? Replace that with a negative? That's what I'm saying. That's how you do this. Now remember, this color is orange. We got to see if the orange equals the green. Is that true? Does the orange equal the green? Now we got to use our algebra. What is negative x to the third power? You guys know this by now. Is that negative x to the third power? Okay. And what is sine of negative x? Sine of negative x, we have it up here. What is it? Sine is odd, is that right? So sine of negative x is what? Minus sine x. So here's what I have to do. Minus sine x. What is a negative times a negative? So it's x cubed sine x. What color is this? What color is x cubed sine x? Green. What does that equal? F of x. So this equals what? f of x. What does this mean when f of minus x is the same as f of x? What does it mean about the function? F is what? Even. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the function is even. What do you guys think? Is that easy or is that hard? Just replace what? X with negative x and see what it equals. But you do want to follow this format. This is a very formal format, ladies and gentlemen. You want to do this format over and over and over again. Yes? No. Mm-mm. You have a good question. Is this always going to happen? No. This is why you do the what? What goes here? I actually use the color purple for the calculus class, and I say this is why you use this is the algebra. Mm-hmm. It's going to be what the algebra determines. Mm-hmm. Like, give you another example. F of x. Let's say now they give you x squared plus cosine x. Okay? It's a different function. This is where you start with. This is the green. The function f is x squared plus cosine. So they give you that. Now, what do you have to do, right? You start with f of minus x. This is orange. You got to see if orange equals green. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. We got to use the algebra. So if I plug in here now, negative x, okay? Don't we get what? Negative x squared plus cosine of what? Negative x. You guys okay with that? Replace that negative x for x. Use what? Algebra. What is negative x squared? X squared. So far, so good? Now, what is cosine of negative x? Why? Because cosine's even. Good. Now, what does this equal? Is that f? It is. So I say, oh, this equals what? F. You got to look above in green. Isn't that green? So orange equals green. What does that mean? F is, again, what? Even. Okay. Does this always happen? No. Let me show you another example. Similar. X squared plus, I'll say sine x. All I have to do is change one thing. Isn't that very similar? Well, let's see what happens. What color is this going to be? Green. Did you guys get your iPads yet? Ask your parents. If it was my dad, he'd give me $2. Go get some paper and a pencil, 99-cent store. If you had a nice dad, I guess your dad would get you a little iPad. Is that right? My dad was never nice. In fact, the day he paid bills, you didn't want to be home. Because back then, you paid your bills with a checkbook. You got all the bills. You had to open them. And you started hearing him yell as he opened his bills. You're like, ah. And he had his checkbook and he had to write a check. So me and my brother go, hey, let's get out of here, man. Dad's paying bills. Okay, let's go. We have to leave. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so today people pay bills probably with their phone or something. And they'll probably be anywhere paying bills. So you guys don't have to see your parents yell and scream, right? So you go f of minus x, right? So you're going to replace x with a negative x. Negative x squared plus sine of negative x. Ladies and gentlemen, do some algebra. What's negative x squared? Okay, and what's sine of minus x? Okay, now let me ask you guys. What is this? Can I color x squared minus sine x green? No, I can't. Why? Because f is what? X squared plus sine x. It's not the same. So here's what I can say. That is not equal to this is not equal to f of x, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not equal to what? Negative f of x either. So what do you think this is? It's a neither situation. So here's what we're going to say. F is neither. So here's your first example where it wasn't even or odd. And there are functions like that. Do you guys know why this is important? Maybe you know, maybe you don't. You guys really know why it's important to know whether the function's even or odd? Because next week we're going to start graphing these functions. And it's helpful to know if it's even or odd because it'll make your work shorter. That's the idea. That's where it is. This is for the any A students in the room? Just curious, any A students? You go, Mr. Judge. A student in high school? High school, I didn't do any homework. I was a C student. I was an A student after high school. I was an A plus student after high school. I wouldn't just get an A, I'd get 100%. Do you guys know why? How did I go from a kid who was a C student in high school to an A plus student in college? You know what I did? Started doing my homework every day. That's the one change. Did homework every day. And then I went from a C student to an A plus student. I wasn't even going to go to college. So, no, college was not for me, but my parents threatened me. They said, if you don't go to college, we're throwing you out of the house. I said, well, okay, I'm going to join the Marine Corps then. I'll see you later. They go, no. You don't have to do that. I wanted to go in the Marines. I wasn't going to go to college. So they threatened me. And I said, well, I'll just go. I'll leave. So that was my plan, to get out of here. So I had a lot of respect for my grandfather. My grandfather was retired Army. He was in World War II and Korea. My uncles were in Vietnam. My father was about to go to Vietnam, but he had 2 kids. That's a whole other story. So I had a lot of respect for what my family said, you know. So if they said, hey, we don't want you to go. If you're going to go, you're going to go in as an officer. And I said, okay, that was the deal. I was going to go in as an officer instead. I wasn't going to enlist. That was the family deal. Only problem is, you guys know what the problem is? If you want to be an officer, what do you got to do? You got to go to college. They got me. See what I mean? They got me. They made me go to college anyway with the bad deal. So I did. I started at this school called ELAC. I walked to school called ELAC, and I had to go to school, and I started college, and I wanted to be a pilot because I watched Top Gun, and I wanted to be Tom Cruise. I wanted to be Maverick. It's a true story. That movie got a lot of people, in case you guys don't know. I'll maybe send you guys there's somebody called The Real Maverick that's out there, and he was the same way. He watched the movie Top Gun. You know, there's this fighter pilot. It's like the real Maverick, right? And so he watched the movie. It got a lot of us. He wanted to be a fighter pilot too after that. So anyway, I had to go to college. Then I had to take my classes serious. Because if I wanted to fly, I had to be a good student. And I had to learn math. So I did. Yeah, after. Yeah. And so, so I did my homework every day. And then I was like, okay, I'm in this trig class. I guess I have to learn how to navigate. So I need to know about angles and speed and direction. And I was in trig. You guys are going to learn this stuff. How to get it right. Because back then we didn't use phones and apps. We had to navigate by hand. We had to know all this stuff. There's no computers really or calculators. We had to really know how to do things. It was in the 80s. So make a long story short, yeah, I became a straight A student, 100%. Graduated from college. Joined the Marine Corps. Went to Marine Officer Candidate School. I graduated Marine OCS. And then upon my graduation from college, I was going to be awarded, I was offered a commission as a second lieutenant in the United States Marine Corps. Actually, I couldn't fly because I have a depth perception problem. So I wasn't going to be a pilot. I was going to be on the ground somewhere. Anyway, there was a drawdown. Anybody know what a drawdown means? It's like layoffs in the military. Believe it or not, there's things called drawdowns. They shrank the military. So they said, okay, so they said, okay, you accept your commission because I had to go through this 2 years of PLC program, platoon leader course. You accept your commission. Only 1 in 4 is going to make the rank of captain. The rest of you, because we're drawing down, there's no need. So I was like, oh man, I did all that. I wasn't even going to necessarily even have a career. They're going to lay us all off. Mm-hmm. So what did I do instead? I said, okay, I'm going to go to graduate school. Maybe after graduate school, things will change. So I went to graduate school in math. And that's when I started teaching. I said, I can't believe they pay people to do this. They pay you to do this? Jeez. Pay you to torture students? Yes. I do that for free. So that's how it all happened, ladies and gentlemen. We never intended to be here. Went from a C student to an A student. Took things serious. Did my homework every day. And there you go. That's kind of the short version. Somebody had a question back there? Yes. Yeah. Oh, because the definition of being odd? It's neither odd as well. You see these odd, where it's negative f of x? It's neither odd. So now the instructions are, is it even or is it odd? Or maybe neither. It's a different kind of question. The earlier questions were pretty much telling you what it was. Telling you what it was. So here now they're telling you, okay, here's a function. Is it even? Is it odd? Or is it neither? Well, here's what you guys do. Same thing. What do? Plug in a negative what? X in there. So what happens? You get what? Absolute value of negative x, sine of negative x. What do you have to do now? You got to use some what? Algebra. Is that right? Use some algebra. See? Huh? I'm sorry? Yeah. Exactly. This is absolute value. What do you guys know? What does the absolute value do here? This is going to be just absolute value of x, right? It gets rid of your negative sign. I mean, I can show you some real intricate algebra. Well, let me show you guys this. Absolute value of A times the absolute value of B. That's called the product rule for absolute values. Okay? So if you have, like, for example, absolute value of Negative 1 times x, which is negative x. That's the absolute value of negative 1. That's the absolute value of x. What's the absolute value of negative 1? 1. That's 1 times anything is itself. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I can just say this is the absolute value of x by the algebra. Remember, it makes everything that's negative becomes positive, really, at the end of the day. And then what about sine? What do you guys know about sine? Isn't that minus sine of x? You with me on this? Right? We know about sine. Sine of minus x is minus sine x. You guys know what I'm saying? What do you do with this negative sign? You know what that means? I'm going to give you every gory detail. Isn't that negative 1 times sine? Can I switch the order in which I multiply? What do you think you guys are looking at here? What is this? Negative, what color? Negative green. What is negative green? That's minus, isn't that f of x? Which one? Here? I don't think, you see this negative 1 here? You can write this as negative 1 times sine. This is the negative 1 here. Whenever you see a negative sign, you can think of it as negative 1 times. And you put a parentheses around negative numbers to emphasize it's negative. And then you switch the order. But then I want to remind you guys, what did you guys just see? This is orange equals what? What does orange equal? Negative? Is it equal green or negative green? Then what does that mean about your function? It's odd, right? F is what? Odd. Because that's the definition of being what? An odd function. Odd. Okay, so you can have functions that are even. You can have functions that are what? Odd. You can have functions that are, what's that other word? Neither. Could be even neither. Okay, and again, you may not know now, but in the future, you're going to say, I understand that. And anybody here taking math what is that math class? 260 right now? Anybody? They're talking about even and odd functions? Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? So if you're going to take 260, guess what's going to be there? Even and odd what? Functions, ladies and gentlemen. Huh? Yeah, this is good stuff. And the reason they care about even and odd functions is for graphing purposes. You know, and you do a lot of graphing in mathematics. So I'm going to do this one here. How about this? X to the 4th cosine squared x. Should we have you guys try this one? We'll have you guys try this one. How about if I have you guys try a couple? 1, 2, f of x is sine x, tangent x. Try a couple of these. Let's see how this goes. Okay. Should we try these? Let's try these out, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, remember how you always start. Okay. This is green. We got to show orange equals green. So orange is f of minus x. You plug in a negative x wherever there's an x. So that's negative x to the fourth. And I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone here. This is the meaning of what? Square, is that right? Now, negative x to the fourth power is just x to the fourth. Is that true? And what in the world is cosine minus x? Oh, that's also cosine x. Okay. So, what does that power 2 mean? It means just put it right here. Is that right? Okay. Now, is that green or is that minus green or neither? Right, remember, this is orange. Is that green, minus green, or neither? That looks green to me. Is that right? You see what I'm saying? Is that green? So green is f of x. That's the function. What does that mean about f? F is even, odd, or neither? Even. Good. Outstanding, ladies and gentlemen. This is green. Oops. Sometimes this is green. Okay, how do we start again? F of minus x is, right, wherever there's an x, you put a minus x. What do you get? Sine of minus x times tangent of minus x. Is that right? Okay, well, what's sine of minus x? Okay. What's tangent of minus x? Oh. What's a minus times a minus? So that means the sign is positive, right? So I got not the sign, but you guys know the sign. Negative times a negative is a positive. So what is this? Is that green or is that orange? Okay, isn't that what the function is? So I'm just going to remind people these steps that I'm showing you are the exact steps. F is even or odd? Even. F of x. I'll look at the textbook. X squared over tangent x? This is green. So you're going to start here with saying what? F of minus x. Good. Just put a negative x wherever there's an x. Negative x. Okay? Now, what do you get? This would be negative x squared over tangent minus x. What's negative x squared? X squared. What's tangent minus x? Negative what? Tangent x. Is that true? Where do I put this negative sign? Same level as my division, so it'll be x squared over tangent x. And what is this? Here's negative. And I'll say, guess what? This is green. Is that right? Isn't that your function, by the way? That's the original function. So you have here a minus what? F of x. So here's the question. Does your orange equal green, or is orange equal to minus green? What does that mean? F is, what's that the definition of? Odd. There you guys go. What do you guys think? Pretty good? What do you guys think? Is that okay? Is that hard? That's 71 to 78. 71 to 78. So if I go back here, Canvas. What is this? We are in Canvas. Assignment. I can edit. I'm going to add and change this to 70 what? 8. And what's on Monday? When's the test again? What's the date from Monday? Is it the 19th? So there you guys go, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like you're all set and good to go. What do you guys think? Where is your test going to be? In class. What's our location? G5 here. Here in class. Okay, I'll see you guys. If you guys want to get started maybe 15 minutes early. If you guys want to get started 15 minutes early on Monday, I'll let you guys get started earlier. I'll be here. I'm actually here pretty early. So I'll let you guys get started, a few minutes early if you guys want. Okay? You guys okay with that? First one? All right. I'll see you guys later.